The Infiniti lineup has been transforming over the last few years, and they saved the most important model for last. Compact crossovers tend to be some of the best-selling cars in other automakers' lineups, but Infiniti thus far has been unable to capitalize thanks to the current QX50 being more than a decade old. That, however, all changes today, with this all-new and very innovative 2019 Infiniti QX50. Like always, this review will cover all of those new innovative features, as well as cover all 3 trim levels, not just this loaded example. So in this very hotly contested segment, let's see if the new QX50 is good enough to take a chunk of the pie. We would like to specially thank Infiniti of Lexington for allowing us to come out and film this review. If you would like to check out their all-new dealership and extensive inventory of all the Infiniti models, their physical address and web address has been provided in the video description. One of the only similarities with the outgoing model is that you've got the same small and lightweight fob, and on Essential you'll find a button for remote start. Of course, the smart entry system is standard across the board. The new interior is gorgeous, but before we dig into that, let's check out the big innovations under the hood. So normally, what powers a crossover is one of its least important attributes, but in this case, it's actually one of the highlights. What you are looking at is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, just like most in the class, but this one has a brand new technology called variable compression. Now this is kind of technical to explain, but basically this is the first engine that can adjust the compression ratio to whatever is ideal for the way you are driving. Its highest ratio is 14:1, which is great for highway cruising and good fuel economy, while its lowest ratio of 8:1 is best for delivering power. The actual power numbers are 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, which is good for a 0 to 60 time of only 6.2 seconds. Power is routed through a continuously variable transmission with 8 simulated gear changes, and it reaches the ground via front-wheel drive or optional intelligent all-wheel drive. Now the real benefit of all this technology is that you have class-leading fuel economy while not giving up any power. The official ratings are 24 city, 31 highway, 27 combined with front-wheel drive, and 24 city, 30 highway, 26 combined with all-wheel drive. Those numbers beat the nearest competitor by 1 mpg combined, and represent an insane 35% improvement over the outgoing model. Well, that covers the big changes under the hood, so let's get on to the new styling and features. So like I already mentioned, the outgoing generation has been on sale for an entire decade, so there is essentially no linkage between that and this. What the new QX50 bears the most resemblance to is actually the QX80, mainly in the updated double arc grille. It has the new pinched appearance at the top, and the same wave texture in the middle. The headlights too share this QX80 influence. These are the standard full LED lights, but Essentials do have the option of fancier looking cube LED headlights. And finally, you do have LED fogs on all but the base trim. The ground clearance is actually pretty impressive at 8.6 inches, which does make it one of the better ones in the class. Coming up to the wheels, the QX50 has only two options. What we have are the standard 19-inch alloys, which come on all three trims. For those wanting a little more pizzazz, really nice looking 20-inch dark painted alloys are available in the sensory package for the Essential trim. The brakes are a 13-inch ventilated disc in the front and 12.3-inch vented disc in the rear. And of course, the tires are all seasons. I also want to point out that the hood is a clamshell design, much like the Audi Q5. And coming up to the mirrors, they are always body color, power folding, and have turn signal indicators. The Essential trim adds heating, while the middle Luxe trim adds blind spot warning. Backing up to the side view, it couldn't possibly look any more different from the outgoing model. What used to be very wagon-esque is now thoroughly SUV-like, and has a ton of crisp body lines. As far as the length goes, it measures in at 184.7 inches long, which is basically the same as all its main competitors. Another huge area of improvement is active safety features, which the outgoing model had very few of. All QX50s have automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, but all the rest of the features are divided into two packages, which are only available on the top Essential trim. The first package, Pro Assist, includes adaptive cruise control and rear cross traffic alert with collision intervention. But the Pro Active package is where the semi-autonomous features come into play. The vehicle can partially take over single-lane highway driving and driving in stop-and-go traffic, thanks to direct adaptive steering, lane departure prevention, blind spot intervention, and automatic high beam headlights. This amount of advanced features move the QX50 among the best in the class. As we move around to the rear of the QX50, you have the same sleek athletic looks as in the front. All models get a nice chrome accent, which arcs its way right into the taillights. These are also fully LED, like the headlights, and have Infiniti's signature paintbrush effect. Down at the bottom, you have dual horizontal exhaust outlets. And as far as towing is concerned, it can handle up to 3,000 pounds with the $900 towing package. You do have a standard rear spoiler, and these silver roof rails are included on all but the most basic Pure trim. Every QX50 has a 16-gallon fuel tank, which is good for ranges of 432 miles and 416 miles with front and all-wheel drive respectively. And since the engine is quite advanced, you do need premium unleaded fuel. Well, that covers all the exterior points, so now let's move on to the very elegant interior. Opening the door, it's almost shocking just how different the new QX50 is. This interior color is known as wheat, but just like everything else in the class, you have a variety of material and color options. On the base model you have wheat or graphite leatherette with painted aluminum accents, and the Luxe changes those out for textured aluminum. Upgrading to the Essential gets you real leather seating, and further upgrading to the sensory package changes the leather to semi-aniline and the interior trim to open pore maple wood. Last but not least, setting at the top of the lineup is the Autograph package, which gives you stunning white quilted semi-aniline seating and blue ultra suede accents throughout. But even without that package, the door trim is extremely nice, with leather on the armrest and all of the middle portion. There is also generous use of real aluminum, and even the top part is stitched leather. All 4 of the windows are one-touch automatic. You also have 2-person memory with the premium heat package. And this is the actual blind spot indicator that I mentioned earlier. No matter what trim you select, the driver's seat will always be 10-way power adjusting, including the 2-way lumbar. This is the standard real leather that comes on Essential, and it is very nice, though definitely not as awesome as the quilted white leather. So first looking around, again things have a rich, warm, and inviting appearance. And the actual materials are top-notch. Unlike most in the class, the entire upper dash is covered in leather with contrast stitching. Middle areas also have more leather and aluminum. But really the most impressive part is that the leather continues down to even the lower areas. I've been in most of this car's rivals, and this has the most leather. Taking a quick look around the Autograph model, it is mostly the same, but the top leather is brown. The middle leather is changed out for blue suede, and the aluminum for maple wood. It too has leather everywhere, but the blue suede breaks it up and adds some exciting contrast. Press the dash mounted button to go. Once you do, the dual screen Infiniti InTouch system boots up. The gauges themselves have a conservative but classy look. In the middle, all models get this large 7-inch multifunction display, which does contain all the expected stuff, including some specifically for the safety systems. Most QX50s have electric power steering, but models with the Pro Active package will have direct adaptive steering like many recent Infinitis. Regardless though, all models have this really nice leather steering wheel straight off the Q60. This side has audio, phone, and voice controls. And the other side is for adaptive cruise, safety systems, and the multifunction display. You will also find rain sensing wipers on the Essential. The wheel itself is power adjusting and heated with the premium heat package. And one new thing to point out is that your light controls are now over here instead of on the stock. Moving on to storage space, the new front-wheel drive layout has really helped. To start, you have a felt-lined center console that has surprising depth to it. There is also a charging USB port inside. After you slide that out of the way, you have 2 cup holders and another area to put stuff. You do also have 2 more USBs and a 12-volt outlet. A lot of that space is made possible by this compact electronic shifter. Just press back once for drive. And manual shifting can be done via paddles. Remember though that these are only simulated gear changes. For reverse, just go the opposite way. Once engaged, the around view monitor pops up on the top screen. This is standard on Essential, and compared to other Infinitis, the resolution and alignment have been improved this year. There are also 2 other views in addition to the bird's eye view. Press P for park. The mirrors also tilt down to see the parking lines with the heating package. Back behind the shifter, there is a drive mode button. There are 4 choices, including a personalized one. You also have an electronic parking brake and an automatic brake hold feature. Moving on to climate, the Essential has tri-zone automatic climate controls. Operation is very easy, and essentially the same as what you'll find in the Q50. You can bring up the climate on the bottom screen as well, though I'm not really sure why you'd want to. And this is where you turn on the heated steering wheel. Off to the side, you have the heated seats that are not standard on any trim. The heating package adds them to our model, and the sensory package would add in ventilation. Now let's hear our optional Bose sound system. This 17 speaker setup delivers very impressive audio quality. And now that brings us to the infotainment review, so let's take a quick look. So the InTouch system is a very interesting setup, not in the least because there are 2 screens that can be controlled 3 different ways. By touch, the dash-mounted controller, or by a steering wheel button. The top screen's primary focus is the navigation map, which is nicely included standard. It's very responsive, but the graphics are somewhat dated. This is the phone menu, and you can scroll through all of your synced over contacts from here. You also have a bunch of apps provided by both Infiniti and XM Satellite Radio. However, 2 apps that are missing are Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Nissan has added these to several of their mainstream models, so hopefully they can eventually add it to Infiniti as well. Anyways, that's the highlights that I'll cover here, but if you want to find out all the detailed information about this system, we have another video tutorial dedicated to that. If you want to check it out, follow the link in the description. Up top, all but the base model have an auto-dimming mirror with HomeLink remotes. Also on all but the base model is the pano moonroof. As you can see, this is a very expansive piece of glass. The front portion also opens up like a regular moonroof, and there's even a wind buffer. So my overall impression of the cabin is a great one. We're not just talking about an improvement compared to the old QX50, but instead a leap to at or near the top of the class. Leather covers practically every area I would touch, and the design stands out as truly unique. This is undoubtedly the best cabin Infiniti has ever created. Now let's check out all the rear areas. Checking out the rear door trim, Infiniti didn't skimp out for the people in the back. It has the same leather on the bottom, aluminum in the middle, and leather on the top. The window back here is also automatic. Looking inside, you'll find 38.7 inches of rear legroom and 38.4 inches of headroom with the moonroof. Those numbers are actually lower than the outgoing model, but they are still right in line with competitors like the Audi Q5 and Volvo XC60. The seats themselves are very soft and comfortable. Back here you do have rear air vents and your own set of controls. There is also a 12-volt outlet and a charging USB. As far as what the legroom actually looks like, I am 5'8", and sitting behind myself there is a ton of leg and foot space. Even with the seat all the way back, it's still fine. Here's the center armrest with 2 cup holders. Up top, each side has a light, and this headliner would be suede on models with the, you guessed it, sensory package. By the way, the seats do slide and recline for maximum comfort. Overall, this back seat is great. A power tailgate is standard, but foot activation is sensory only. Once it opens up, you'll find an impressive amount of space. The actual measurements are 31.4 cubic feet with the rear seats up, and 65.1 cubic feet with them folded. That puts the QX50 ahead of most of its rivals, including the Audi Q5, Mercedes GLC, and Lexus NX. Conveniently, you can fold the rear seats from back here with this lever. It would fold flat if the front seat was moved up a bit. There is also a hidden storage compartment under here. The passenger seat is power, but lacking lumbar support. The glove box is dampened and felt lined, but a little on the small side. Overall, the cabin is lovely. Well everyone, we hope you enjoyed one of the first in-depth reviews of the all-new 2019 Infiniti QX50 Essential. Stay tuned for a look at the pricing breakdown of this specific model, as well as the rest of the QX50 lineup. As always, please like and subscribe, and come along with us next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.